Okay, so today I wanted to talk about repainting parts of my Town and Country Chrysler Minivan 2005 model. So I did actually have parts of this repainted when I first got it about 6 years ago. So this fender was repainted, the hood was repainted, and the fender on this side and the bumper. Alright, so there was some other fading. The hood started to fade again in certain spots, like over here. I'll put up a picture and show you. And I decided to sand this down and repaint it again. And the roof had a lot of flake and paint. I'll also add a picture and show you. Right around in the back area, it was all flaking off. I initially did some repairs myself, but it didn't come out very good. The paint was in the front here. I had painted all of this black as well, and I think I used flat black on the far end and gloss on this one, and it looked very terrible from the front of the vehicle. And I also painted these areas up to about here, and this area here, and these areas on both sides of the vehicle. Now what's strange is that these areas fade, but this part, which is original paint, never faded. So I don't know how they painted it, or if they painted the panels like the doors separately from the back of the vehicle. So these stayed fine. Right, in the back here, the same issue. Up here, the same issue. Right, and when I painted it, it seemed that I didn't leave the paint long enough to dry. And I applied the clear coat and then it started flaking off. So I had to re-sand everything down. I sanded it down using 250 grit, I believe, in the beginning, using a sander that I got from Harbor Freight. This is what it looks like. It's a sander polisher. Alright, I'll put a link for it down below. You can adjust the speeds in the back, and you could change this from a stick-on sanding pad to a polisher. Well, it comes with a polisher. So this is what I've been using. And so I started off with 200 grit sandpaper to really take it off, and then I started moving up. I purchased these from Amazon. I'll put a link for this one as well. Right, and it has different grades: 120, 80, and it goes all the way up. I think, don't remember the number, 400 I remember using, and so on. Right, and I also had a pack of these, which was different grades: 220 here, 1810, and so on, which I had to use on the edges up here to manually sand it because the orbital sander couldn't reach it. So I sanded it all the way down using 250, then 400, then 600, and I sanded it down to the primer that's underneath as much as I could, and now I'm going to paint it. So what I'm going to do for the roof is I'm going to use direct to metal protective high gloss enamel paint. Alright, so that's what I'm going to use up here. I purchased 2 cans, and you don't have to prime it apparently. You could spray directly on metal, because as you can see I have some exposed metal areas. The sander took all the primer off. And then over here I bought some primer. So I'm going to prime here and prime all the other surfaces that needs to be done. And then I'm going to sand that down after a day, and then I'm going to apply the paint, the base coat, and then the clear coat. Now, everything I'm going to use is rattle cans. The vehicle is an old vehicle, and I don't want to spend a lot of money behind it, purchasing a gun and all the other attachments. So this is what I purchased. Right, I match the color based on what's on the door, PPK. All right, and I also purchased 2K primer, 2K clear coat, which I will use to apply the clear coat. And I will try and show some videos on that while I'm applying it. And this is actually the sander, the sealer that I'm going to use. And that's what I'm going to do. So let me show you where the paint color is on the vehicle. It's on the door. See over here, it says paint. PNT PPK. Alright, so that's what I'm going to use. This has taken me probably about 8 hours already, and it's pretty intensive, so just keep that in mind. There's a lot of work involved in just fixing these things up. So if you don't care, just keep your vehicle running good, let it fade. But I'm a little fussy on those things, so I'm going to try to do my best to make it look halfway presentable. Okay, so as you can see, I taped off the roof area all around, right, including the little spoiler area on top. I'm going to paint that as the same color. And next I'm going to use some Windex with a I'm going to put some gloves on, use Windex with a microfiber and wipe it down. Then I'm going to use a tack cloth. I bought some plastic sheeting. I went to actually I started off at Home Depot, and I bought 7 by 12 square feet. Right, that actually didn't do anything. It just covered the front of the vehicle. And today I purchased a 13 by 16 foot drop cloth from Harbor Freight for about $5. This was about $2. And I also had already some Scotch Blue tape, 24 millimeter, which is an inch or so. So over here I covered the sheeting, the big one, from the back all the way to the front. This is as far as it reached. And then I used the thinner one, the one from Home Depot, cover the front. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a knife and cut along the seams where I want to be exposed. And then I'm going to tape all around, right? And also secure the tape to the sides of the vehicle so it doesn't blow off. I'm going to do that for everywhere that needs painting, like the roof. I'm going to cut out a piece over there, cut out a piece over here. Now, because I'm painting on top here black first, I'm probably just going to tape here first and then paint it. And then I'm going to cover it back, and then I'm going to tape these parts off. Right, and also like here, and on the other side as well. Okay, just wanted to add some information. I bought these from Amazon. They seem to have worked pretty well. Just remember to follow the instructions pretty closely. Shake for 2 minutes, then take the cap that comes on in the cover, put it underneath it, and press down until it pops or it goes all the way in. And then shake it for another few minutes, and then apply it about 10 inches away. Paint Society on YouTube actually said to apply it closer, as much as 4 inches. So I'll just list out, list out what I did to apply the clear coat. This, and I also use these. Make sure you shake them really well before you apply it. Okay, so this is what it looks like done. I repainted the lights, repainted the hood. There's still some orange peel on it. I sanded it and buffed it a bit, so it's not perfect. Probably needs a bit more, but it's good enough for an old vehicle. Right, there is a color difference. You could see there's a color change. I did up here. There's a transition line. I got to see if I can sand that out a bit better. Let me show you the other side. I did here, this panel. You can see once again there's a color difference. I did up here, all the way across, up to there. And I did this panel too. I did it up to the edge here. So I didn't want to do the whole thing. This is what gets the sun damage, these top pieces. And I also redid the roof. This is far from perfect, but the paint was flaking before. In the earlier pictures you could see that, and I just painted this and it looks better. From a distance, doesn't look so bad. Let me know what you think, and if this helped you, consider subscribing and liking. Thanks.